Hi, everyone. I'm Silas from Valora. I'm the CTO at Valora. Valora is a mobile app on iOS and Android. And for the last couple of years, we've been focusing on making really great user experiences for casual Web3 users so they can easily manage their value on-chain, grow it, and share it with others. A lot of our use cases are focused on stablecoins. And today I'm happy to be here to share what we think is one of the biggest challenges for scaling up the adoption across users for stablecoins and how we want to join forces with the ecosystem to solve that challenge. Okay, so to start, I want to highlight an opportunity in mobile. This is probably something that we're all familiar with, but in 2024, over 7 billion users have smartphones. We expect this number to increase by about 200 million a year for the next 6 years. Most of this increase is coming from users in sub-Saharan Africa, in Latin America, and so those are probably places where we think that stablecoins can provide a lot of utility. Probably even more exciting for us is that there's increased evidence that these users are more and more trying to engage with Web3. About 50% of users who accessed the most popular Web3 dApps were trying to do so from a mobile device. However, only about 8 of the top 100 dApps have a native mobile experience. And so if you're like me and you believe that native mobile experiences provide a far superior user experience compared to accessing a dApp, a web-based app on mobile, there seems to be sort of this issue here where there's demand for these mobile experiences, but as an ecosystem, we're not supplying them. So the issue is, probably no surprise, that it's really challenging and a ton of work to build a great mobile experience. The sort of example, or maybe the rule of thumb for what constitutes a really good mobile experience is that all the core user journeys that a user might take place entirely within the application. As soon as you essentially kick a user out, for them to complete some part of that user journey outside your application, the casual Web3 users are likely to churn out. And so in the example of trying to earn a yield on your stablecoin assets, if you kick the user out to get them to cash in, or you send them to a DEX app to get them to swap to the right assets, or if when they want to finally contribute their stablecoins to some pool, you move them to another dApp, at any one of those points, a casual Web3 user is going to churn out. And so if we put ourselves in their shoes, it's pretty easy to start thinking about all the stuff you need to cram in to your mobile experience to make sure that can happen all within a single app. Because we're talking about sort of more casual, or I think the term I heard earlier was unsophisticated Web3 users, they're going to want a Web2-like login to manage their keys. You're going to need to build a cash-in experience. They're going to want to bring value from fiat on-chain. They might have some value on-chain. They're going to want to rebalance periodically, so you'll add swapping to the list. Finally, you can wire things up to your protocol of choice. They'll likely want notifications when there's new opportunities to earn, so you have to add push notifications to the list. And then lastly, cashing out. Eventually, the user is going to want to move value off-chain. I kind of think of this analogy around iOS and Android. If you're just building a normal mobile app without crypto, and you tried to do so without there being abstractions provided by the operating system for a keyboard drawer or a back button. That's kind of the state we're in with mobile crypto apps. And so it's easy to see why only 8 out of the 100 top dApps or protocols end up building mobile experiences, native mobile experiences. So I'm excited to share what we've been working on to solve this problem. It's called Mobile Stack. Mobile Stack includes all the components I just mentioned and then some, and is a really simple way to stand up a native mobile app on iOS and Android. back to the sort of OS analogy, we think of mobile stack as kind of a complement to iOS and Android that provides all the abstractions that you'd expect for building a crypto app on a mobile device. I don't have time to list all of them, but I have some like rough groupings here of the types of components we provide. There's a set around acquisition and onboarding, so helping users get started, setting up their account, sort of a set of features or components around core wallet, so think like swaps, sending and receiving, visualizing your positions, and then a set of features around engagement, so helping users continue to stay engaged and find opportunities within your application. One thing that I think is distinct about mobile stack, and I want to call out, is that these components work end-to-end out of the box. And so if you pick the swap component, for example, you don't have to worry about building UI and UX components on iOS and Android. You don't have to worry about calling a router API. You don't have to worry about accurate fee estimation or doing approvals or tracking volume. All of this works out of the box for iOS and Android. The one feature that I'm pretty excited about with mobile stack is how you actually bootstrap a native mobile app. We're still refining the precise developer experience with how that's going to work, but essentially you run a command, create mobile stack app, you pass in a DApp URL, and you get back a native app that has some bells and whistles, has some of the components you'd expect, and works on iOS and Android, and embeds your DApp within the application. So to make this more concrete, I have this hypothetical example of how we might build a savings app powered by Curve. I've called it Curve Savings, and I'm going to show a short video that will visualize how this would come together with mobile stack. Okay, so we spin up our mobile stack app, we call create mobile stack, and we end up getting this shell that includes a lot of the basics that you'd expect. Ignore if you're an engineer, ignore the code part. It's been simplified quite a bit for this video. But the point is, there's some knobs you can tune to style it and customize it for your specific application. So we dress it up in Curve branding, and we add the Curved app URL. Because we're trying to build this for casual users who are looking to earn a little bit of yield on their stable coins, we enable mobile stacks, Web2 login experience or key management experience. And then next we want to enable buying and swapping to allow users to easily use fiat to buy crypto. We have a bunch of different providers already integrated, and swaps work on same chain and across different chains. And so at this point, the user has access to the Curved app. They're able to complete most of their user journey all within this single mobile application. And then they can pick a pool through the DApp that they want to contribute to start earning a yield. Okay, let's. At this point, it's likely that people will want to start customizing or progressively iterating on their native app. In the Curve Savings example, the Curved app is not quite the right fit for a savings app targeted at more casual users. It includes knobs to the Curve protocol that are unnecessary and would probably confuse most users. It's also kind of a clunky experience to use an embedded DApp in a mobile application. So we have a path to progressively iterate and basically pour more functionality from that DApp into your native application. It's this plugin framework we call hooks. Hooks are basically little scripts that are run in response to transitions in the UI or state on-chain. They're basically glue for mobile stack to understand how to integrate with your protocol. We announced hooks during ECC last year. We've had a bunch of interesting contributions since then. It's very easy to represent relatively complex positions on-chain simply in the UI. We have some hooks around claiming UBI. More recently, we've released a set of hooks that allow